Hey guys, what's going on here? It's February 14th, and today is actually Valentine's Day. I'm actually had to go to the office and pick up some deliveries and stuff. So I just want to recap a couple of days and what's been happening and stuff. So I think as of 4 days ago on Monday. The work has resumed again, sort of like slowly. So some businesses reopen again. Not too many though. And there were actually a few shops closed again, and then some open again. So it's just really, yeah, people are trying to open again and see what it is like. So I'm just walking around the in the office around here. It's pretty empty here. You know, the thing is, like, people working really hard here, like the medical staff, nurses, and plus the government. Everybody's working really hard, and then you have people from the outside they're just not helping, just like spreading rumors and then fake news and all that stuff. It's very unfortunate that people are doing such kind of things. It's pretty sad. It makes me really sad when people doing this. Really, everybody's working really hard. The citizen, medical staff, doctors, nurses, everybody's working really hard to really get rid of this thing, and not just from spreading in China, but also spreading like outside of China. So, and what the outside world does is just nothing good, just criticizing, out of all these good things they're doing, building a hospital within 10 days. This is something like, this is pretty amazing. I mean, it would take planning to build a hospital for 1,000 people. Would take in another place, in another country, would take probably like a year just to planning and get everything approved, but they're doing everything in 10 days. So what else is happening? Just let me show you a little bit and surrounding what it looks like. Yeah, it's pretty empty here, but it's actually a little bit more traffic than it was a few days ago. So I think it's really slow. I mean, the pace here, coming back here to work, people here. Yeah, but you can still get your food deliveries and stuff here, so it's pretty convenient. I mean, so I had a lot of friends and stuff call me and see like, oh man, I see in the news that like a lot of people being quarantined and you can't go out and stuff. I mean, Shanghai, you can still go out, in and out as you want, as you like. But you get your temperatures and check. Those are more strict. And then in small cities that are closer to the epicenter, probably even more strict. And I called a few friends actually that are actually in Wuhan. They're doing just fine. As I said, like, everybody's working really, really hard to contain this virus. And he told me like they're making policies that you can only go like once in 2 days or 3 days. It's just like measurements that you do to make sure the virus isn't spreading. But the way the news, the way the West reports it is like, oh, they have this draconian measurement, to restrict people, having freedom and stuff. This is like a bunch of bullshit. I mean, like, what people are doing is like whatever is like best for the country, for the outside of the world, to contain the virus. And then they're talking about, oh, you don't have freedom and all that stuff. And there's this constant nonsense that's going on out of the West. Made me actually to come out to just tell you what's really going on here. I mean, this is life as usual. People trying to solve this problem. And we should be thankful to all the staff and the workers and the government do all they can, doing amazing work, create a hospital or build a hospital within like less than 10 days and stuff. I'm not trying to praise anybody, like, you know, but you know, you have to state all the facts, you know, what they have done in a very limited and short time to facilitate this, you know. And there's only, I mean, only China can do this. I don't think like in America or anywhere else they can handle this crisis like this. I mean, look at Katrina. I mean, they weren't even able to provide shelter to, like, I don't know, a few thousand people. I mean, we're talking about I don't know, 60,000 people that are infected, and then providing care for these people, you know, make sure they don't spread the virus. I mean, if you just look at the magnitude of, you know, this task, you know, and you get an idea like how difficult it is, you know, to handle this. And then, and here we have all the Western government, the media criticizing that and not doing well, not good enough to handle this situation. But it's really funny. I mean, when you compare a lot of crises with, you know, like the H1N1, this is like a joke when you compare stuff like this, you know. Yeah. This is the mall. I think there's not too many people, but at least a lot of stores are open again. Yeah, that's a lot than before. A few days before, it was still closed. A lot of businesses are open again. Yeah, restaurants are open, supermarket, even Mickey D's is open again. That's a good sign. That means something. Pizza Hut is open. So yeah, I think this week businesses are starting to kick off again. There's a restaurant. It's not too many people eating here, but it's getting there. Things are getting back to normal again. So just a matter of time. So you have these checkpoints, checking your temperature. We're walking towards the subway right now. It's a subway. It's still very empty, but I think one of the issue is that for a lot of people outside of China, perception is reality. A lot of this perception has ingrained in our brain. So no matter what we see, and sometimes we don't, you know, we don't believe, you know, in reality, and thinking like, oh, this is bad, and no matter what you do, you know. And so for the first few years when I came here, I had pretty much the same perception of what China is and the government and stuff. So very negative perspective. But now, you know, having lived here for more than 10 years, like my perception actually changed in regards that the government is very competent. I mean, if you look at the track record, lifting several 100 million people out of poverty, you know, and building a state-of-the-art railway system, and, you know, just to revive the economy in general. Like it's a daunting task for 1.4 billion people, you know, and this is not a small task, you know. If you're not competent, I don't think you can govern a society like this, you know. And again, coming back to perception, I mean, the word like democracy and freedom and all this, you know, has such a good connotation when you just hear this, and then anything under this name, whatever they do, all these wars and stuff in the Middle East, it's always good. I mean, you just, you know, even if you kill 100,000, a million Iraqis and all this, like invading a country under the name of democracy, you can justify with this, you know, it's always good. So, and it's the opposite actually to the word communist, and then people having all this bad connotation with this word. And no matter what the government does here in China, it's always like bad, you know, because the Western media is a very, very powerful entity, you know. Yeah, it's getting more lively again here. Yeah, a lot of things are starting to open again. Yeah, it's a very good sign. I'm really happy for that, you know. But so now that's enough. That's all I want to get off my chest, and I'm gonna end this here. So hopefully I'm gonna have more time to create another video for you guys. Cheers, peace out.